Jurors were handed personal screens so that they could privately see images taken from what Cassie called freak-off videos. Cassie had a binder on the stand with her, and she was going through images identifying people in them. Cassie was listing the names of the male escorts, and in some of the images, she said it was herself with baby oil on.
I was in the courtroom as Cassie was testifying, so let me tell you guys everything that you didn't see or may have not heard, because it's a lot. I will say the most damning part of her testimony for me is when she describes a freak-off where Diddy and another man, an are standing on top of her while she is laying on the floor high off of ecstasy, and they are urinating on her face to the point where she is on their face. And to further give context, on the right-hand side of the court seated is her husband, Alex.
Welcome back to FameFlux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. The prosecution just revealed its next key witness, Gina Huynh. This move has sent shockwaves through the courtroom, given Huynh's history with the defendant and her rumored tension with a close associate of his. Her involvement adds a deeply personal edge to an already volatile trial, raising the stakes dramatically as federal prosecutors close in. One figure reportedly unsettled by this development is Young Miami. According to multiple sources, she's been rattled by Huynh's emergence as a central figure in the witness lineup. Analysts believe her anxiety may stem from past conflicts and the possibility that her name could surface in Huynh's account of events. Before Gina takes the stand, it's important to rewind to day one of the trial. Insider accounts from within the courtroom describe a tense atmosphere as painful testimonies unfolded, with many in attendance visibly affected. Observers say it's increasingly unlikely that Sean Combs will emerge from this process without facing serious consequences. Held in Manhattan under intense federal oversight, the trial is secured with strict media limitations and a protected witness list. Journalists have struggled to obtain accurate updates as the court remains heavily fortified against leaks. Information first began to emerge on May 13, 2025, when singer Cassie Ventura, once closely linked to the defendant, surprised the public by taking the witness stand. Now heavily pregnant, her appearance and testimony were seen by many as a powerful symbol of defiance and strength, casting an early emotional weight over the proceedings.
Week 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial is underway, and this time it was Cassie Ventura's mother who took the stand. Ventura, who dated Combs for 11 years, previously testified that the music mogul physically abused her, raped her, and forced her into drug-fueled sexual encounters with male escorts. Now, her mother, Gina Ventura, is corroborating key details, including witnessing some of the alleged abuse firsthand and taking a home equity loan out to wire Diddy $20,000. I'm your host, Kennedy Walker, and you're watching Law and Crime. These images shown to the jury reveal several injuries Cassie Ventura says were caused by Sean Combs.
Cassie Ventura's first day on the witness stand marked a pivotal moment in the federal case against Sean Combs. Her detailed and emotional testimony brought the courtroom to a standstill. She described years of alleged abuse, outlining how Combs allegedly exerted control over nearly every aspect of her life, from her career decisions to her personal autonomy. According to her account, the relationship, which spanned from 2007 to 2018, was marked by escalating violence, manipulation, and emotional distress. She spoke of being coerced into explicit acts referred to in court as freak-offs, with Combs allegedly observing in silence and asserting dominance. The atmosphere in the courtroom grew tense as each revelation unfolded. Ventura painted a picture of an environment where money and influence were allegedly used as tools of coercion. She described multiple incidents in hotel rooms, citing physical violence, surveillance, and control over her devices and communications. She claimed Combs often used fear and isolation to maintain control, weaponizing both privilege and power. When prosecutors played disturbing footage in court, surveillance video already leaked in 2016 by CNN, observers said the version shown during trial was significantly more graphic and revealing. According to insiders, Ventura broke down as the unedited recording played, visibly shaken while describing what occurred off-camera. Although Combs' legal team attempted to downplay the footage, labeling the events as inhumane but not criminal, The courtroom remained gripped by the gravity of Ventura's testimony. Prosecutors positioned her as a central witness and reportedly focused heavily on the physical abuse, asserting that it was part of a wider pattern of control and intimidation. Court officials have had to remind jurors to remain neutral, despite the heavy emotional toll of the evidence. As the trial continues, Ventura's words and the reactions to them are likely to shape both public perception and the outcome in the courtroom. As the courtroom continued to absorb Cassie Ventura's devastating testimony, prosecutors made it clear she was not alone. Multiple alleged victims are expected to testify, each echoing a pattern of violence, manipulation, and forced participation in disturbing acts. The prosecution argues that these were not isolated incidents, but part of a long-running system of control. The defense, however, has tried to reframe the narrative. They claim the case centers on a volatile relationship, not a federal trafficking conspiracy. Their strategy has focused on undermining credibility, raising questions about why Ventura allegedly retained explicit footage and suggesting the case is driven by revenge or financial motives. But these efforts have not slowed the momentum of the trial. Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, made an appearance in a show of solidarity, though he was removed once prosecutors began discussing the 2018 allegations.
Because of YouTube rules, we have to blur them. But one shows her visibly swollen lip, another shows a bloody cut above her eyebrow. You can also see large, dark bruises on her leg and back. Tuesday, Cassie's mother, Gina Ventura, testified about the abuse, telling the court she took those photos herself to document what her daughter had been going through. Prosecutors then showed an email to the jury. It's an email Cassie sent to her mother and one of Diddy's employees in December of 2011. It said, quote, "The threats that have been made towards me by Sean Puffy Combs are that he is going to release 2 explicit sex tapes of me. One on Christmas Day, maybe before or right after,"
citing potential witness testimony. That moment underscored the weight of what's still to come. Cassie is expected to remain on the stand for several days, with more explosive revelations anticipated. Behind the scenes, the prosecution has kept the full list of witnesses tightly guarded. But court insiders are reporting that several more women are scheduled to testify, individuals with first-hand accounts that could potentially reinforce the prosecution's claims. Among them, a name has surfaced that's making headlines: Gina Huynh. Known for her past relationship with Combs and a very public fallout involving Young Miami, Huynh is rumored to be preparing to take the stand. If confirmed, her testimony could alter the course of the trial. Her involvement signals a potential escalation in the case, not only due to what she may have witnessed, but because of the intricate personal dynamics tied to her name. If Gina Huynh testifies, the courtroom drama will move into uncharted territory. With her direct experience and prior conflicts with figures close to Combs, prosecutors could gain a powerful narrative to support broader allegations. And for those still on the sidelines, particularly Young Miami, the pressure may be mounting. Gina Huynh wasn't just another former partner of Sean "Diddy" Combs. She was a long-term presence in his private world. Unlike brief flings, Gina remained part of the inner circle for years, often appearing during key moments while Diddy maintained public relationships with others. Reports suggest their connection dates back to the early 2010s, with the relationship gaining traction around 2015. Though never fully public, her involvement was unmistakable. Gina was frequently seen on private jets, wearing high-end designer labels and moving in the background of Diddy's lifestyle. Public appearances were rare, but when they occurred, they hinted at a deeper dynamic, one where Gina operated quietly behind the spotlight, seemingly rewarded for her discretion. While some may have dismissed her as just another background figure, insiders claim her loyalty was strategic. Remaining under the radar came with privileges. Rumors circulated that Gina benefited from Diddy's lavish lifestyle, gaining access to luxury goods, exclusive events, and a lifestyle supported by the bad boy empire. But now, her potential role in the courtroom changes everything. Gina's long-term proximity to Diddy may give her detailed knowledge of events, relationships, and behaviors spanning years. As prosecutors prepare to introduce new witnesses, Gina's testimony could fill critical gaps, offering context, consistency, and possibly confirmation of patterns described by others. For young Miami, the stakes are also rising. Already entangled in a complicated public relationship with Diddy, her proximity to ongoing allegations makes Gina's emergence particularly unsettling. Public attention had already focused on past tensions between the two women, and now Gina's role in this federal case could reshape public narratives entirely. In this developing trial, what once seemed like personal drama is becoming legal evidence. And as Gina Huynh steps closer to the witness stand, the lines between private history and public accountability continue to blur. Diddy's romantic history has never been simple, but Gina Huynh's reappearance in 2022 added a volatile layer to the unfolding narrative. Publicly, Diddy described his setup with young Miami as dating but single, a term that hinted at open arrangements without commitment. But behind the scenes, the overlap between past and present relationships painted a far more complicated picture. If Gina's timeline with Diddy traces back to 2015, it creates a significant overlap with his long-standing relationship with Cassie. In court, Cassie testified that Diddy was also involved with Kim Porter during this same period. According to her account, all three women were aware of each other's presence in his life. This created what she described as a shared understanding, an arrangement centered not in love, but in wealth, image, and access. By the time 2022 rolled around, Gina had been mostly silent. But everything changed when she posted a photo of Diddy kissing her on the cheek. The timing couldn't have been more strategic. Right in the middle of Diddy's public appearances with young Miami, who had been spotlighted in interviews, red carpets, and music shows alongside him. That single image disrupted the public image Diddy and young Miami had curated. It triggered immediate backlash online. Gossip sites exploded, fans speculated wildly, and social media engagement skyrocketed. Young Miami responded directly, clearly furious, with pointed tweets that suggested betrayal and frustration. The incident reignited old tensions and forced every name in the equation back into the public eye. What was once private relationship drama suddenly became a public spectacle.
And another one sometime soon after that. He has also said that he will be having someone hurt me and Scott Miscuddy physically. He made a point that it wouldn't be by his hands. He has actually said that he'd be out of the country when it happened. Cassie's mom testified that when she read this email, she was, quote, physically sick. Now, this email references Mr. Miscuddy, who is better known by his stage name, Kid Cudi. He and Cassie were dating in 2011 when she was on a break from Mr. Combs. Last week, Cassie testified that Combs found out about the relationship after reading through her emails during a freak-off. She says Diddy allegedly flew into a rage, tried to attack her with a wine bottle opener, and later destroyed the hotel room she had been staying in, covering it with urine and feces. Cassie also told the court that Combs allegedly threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car and to release 2 explicit videos of her. That brings us back to her mother's testimony on Tuesday, where Regina Ventura echoed many of her daughter's claims. She said after getting the email, Diddy demanded that she pay $20,000 to recoup money that he had spent on her daughter. The prosecutor asked, "Why did you go to the bank and take out a $20,000 loan?" Regina said, "I was scared for my daughter's safety." She was asked what she needed the money for, and she said to pay Sean Combs. And when she was asked why she needed to pay,
amplifying scrutiny around Diddy's behavior. And now, with a federal trial in progress, this tangled web is taking on legal weight. Gina's proximity and timing may no longer be coincidence. Her insight might now be crucial. The moment Gina Huynh and young Miami began clashing publicly, it shifted the entire narrative into a spectacle. What once lingered in vague posts and indirect jabs quickly escalated into an all-out digital feud, dominating timelines and headlines across the entertainment world. This wasn't casual shade. It was a full-scale war of words across Instagram and Twitter, sparked when Gina fired back with responses that quickly gained traction. The exchanges turned messy fast, erasing any doubt that tensions between the two were long-standing and deeply personal. By December 2022, the drama hit a new peak. Word broke that Diddy had quietly welcomed a child with another woman, Dana Tran, and Gina wasted no time adding fuel to the fire. She posted a mocking video targeting young Miami, suggesting Miami was feuding with her while Diddy had already moved on with someone else. It wasn't just petty, it was brutal. Young Miami fired back hard, flooding Twitter with sharp-tongued posts aimed at Gina. She reminded everyone that while Diddy might be for everyone, she was the one getting luxury gifts, traveling first class, and sharing the spotlight next to him. The Birkin bags, the private jets, the red carpets. Miami made it clear that status, not exclusivity, was her lane. But the situation was unraveling. No matter how public the perks were, the private truth cut deeper. Another woman had just given birth to Diddy's child, and both Gina and Miami were still caught in his orbit. Throughout all the chaos, Diddy remained unbothered, appearing to embrace the dysfunction while maintaining ties with each woman involved. It was a toxic carousel that played out on the world stage, and now, with a federal trial looming, this tangled history may no longer be just gossip. Gina's knowledge of the environment surrounding Diddy during that period could provide crucial context, especially if prosecutors seek to establish a pattern of manipulation and control. Now, with Gina Huynh rumored to be the prosecution's next star witness, the stakes in Diddy's federal case have reached an entirely new level. This isn't just another ex stepping into the spotlight. Gina represents a key insider, someone who allegedly had first-hand knowledge of how Diddy operated across several eras of his public and private life. Her involvement spans critical years, placing her between Diddy's relationship with Cassie and his entanglement with young Miami. That timeline matters. It means Gina may have witnessed the shift in Diddy's behavior over time, observed key patterns, and even been present during moments that align with claims of manipulation, abuse, or witness silencing. And if Cassie's testimony lit the first match in this case, Gina's presence in court could escalate it dramatically. Reports suggest she holds more than emotional baggage. Allegedly, she's preserved receipts, evidence, and intimate details. Some insiders claim she documented Diddy's parties, the celebrity guest lists, private communications, and confidential payoffs. If those claims hold weight under oath, the prosecution's case could grow exponentially stronger. What's especially damaging is the claim that Gina once accused Diddy of physical assault and coercing her into terminating pregnancies. If she testifies to that in a federal courtroom, it could frame Diddy as someone with a consistent, disturbing pattern of behavior, further weakening his defense. Meanwhile, young Miami, who once brushed off Gina as a rival, may now find herself under unexpected scrutiny. If Gina's testimony touches on Miami's role in Diddy's private life, even indirectly, it could raise difficult questions. How much did Miami know? Were benefits exchanged in return for silence or loyalty? None of that bodes well for Miami's public image or career. The fallout wouldn't be limited to reputation. It could lead to direct legal consequences if any alleged misconduct connects her to Diddy's broader case. The potential for collateral damage is very real. As Gina prepares to take the stand, the courtroom isn't just bracing for testimony, it's preparing for a possible turning point, one that could dismantle years of carefully managed narratives and reshape how Diddy's legacy is remembered in the public and legal eye. So, what happens now? Whether witness 3, believed by many to be Gina Huynh, testifies or not, one thing is clear. The weight of their involvement could dramatically impact the outcome of Diddy's federal trial. With the prosecution having already introduced them as a key figure, their silence or statement holds serious legal consequences. What's unfolding isn't just legal drama, it's a cultural reckoning. From layered relationships to public feuds to testimony that could shake the industry, this case is rewriting headlines by the hour. And what we're witnessing might just be the beginning. But what do you think? Could Gina Huynh be the prosecution's hidden weapon, holding back for the perfect moment? Or is she protecting something or someone by choosing silence? And what about young Miami? Is she riding the wave out of loyalty or quietly preparing to walk away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This conversation is just getting started. If you're here for the facts, the updates, and everything in between, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. This case is far from over, and we'll be here with every update as it unfolds. See you in the next one.